Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon, and China is coming for your waifus. That's right, China is interested in investing heavily in anime, specifically Tencent Holdings. One of the biggest companies in China. They've invested in a lot of Hollywood productions, and now they're coming for manga and anime. And this is a follow-up to a video we did a couple of days ago about how the Love Hina manga creator was concerned about censorship in manga. Now, the video we did, we were talking primarily about American companies censoring Japanese manga. But with Tencent pushing into manga and anime as heavily as they are, and being a Chinese company, it stands to reason that Japanese creators are probably worried about Chinese censorship in manga. I mean, we're talking in China, a lot of stuff that's even acceptable here in the US does not fly. We're seeing American films censored. Even though we've been censoring ourselves pretty effectively for the last couple of years, it's not enough for Chinese audiences. So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture, news, views, and rants. We're closing in on 125,000 subs. Thank you so much. And check us out on Facebook. We have gaming and art content on Facebook that you won't find on this channel here on YouTube at facebook.com/clownfish TV. All right, so I just want to recap this article from a couple days ago where Ken Akamatsu had to go to the Japanese government, and he basically complained to the government that he was concerned about censorship from foreign platforms. Now, we thought he was talking mostly about America, but we put the video out there and we had some people on Twitter and in the comments tell us that this could actually be partially because of concern over Chinese influence in the manga and anime industries. This is what he said on Twitter. He said, "This month I was invited to participate in a House of Counselors witness questioning session, but instead a member of the Diet Japanese government asked me what measures are needed for Japanese manga to survive in the world. I replied, first and foremost, freedom of expression. Compared to other countries, Japan's forte is its freedom of creativity. However, with foreign platforms becoming more and more dominant, I would like to avoid a situation where Japanese works are regulated by foreign standards." Now, I do think he's probably talking predominantly about America, because there's been a lot of talk over here about manga and anime being censored, and as Hollywood goes on a censorship spree, and we're seeing this with a lot of sitcoms where they've removed quote-unquote objectionable content current month. I can't even say current year, current month. And we had the creator of Record of Lodoss War worried that his Dark Elf characters would be purged because they purged the episode of Community where Chang dressed as a drow, and for some reason censors think that that's akin to blackface, when literally nobody was complaining about that. They understood. It was a joke. He was supposed to be a drow. That's how drow look. That's the way it is. Anyway, it got so bad that we've got manga and anime artists in Japan worrying to the government about censorship. And in comes Tencent, right? Tencent believes investing in anime and manga will boost its global growth. And we're going to talk about this. Tencent is a massive player right now. China's video game and social media powerhouse is looking to fresh intellectual property from Japan to star in its next wave of games. They're coming for your waifus. Tencent Holdings is looking to kick off the next stage of its growth with the help of anime and manga characters from Japan. Tencent is already one of the largest companies in China. It's also the world's largest video game publisher. The company is now fixing its gaze on the talents of Japan's animation studios to jumpstart the next phase of its growth. Japanese manga and anime creators are so concerned they're going to the government. Late last month, Tencent acquired a 20% stake in prominent Japanese animation studio Marvelous Entertainment for about $65 million, making it the company's largest shareholder. This followed a move earlier this year when Tencent took an equity stake in Platinum Games, though the terms of the deal were not disclosed. The move to buy stakes in these content creators rather than buy them outright, marks a new strategy by Tencent to establish a beachhead in one of Japan's most popular esports, giving it access to intellectual property to use in its games in the coming year. Again, Japanese creators are so concerned they're going to the government, not just America, but China as well. Japan's anime, comics, and games ACG franchises, is that what they're calling it now, are considered among the best in the world. Well, they were and have been extremely popular in China, making them desirable takeover targets for Tencent. This is coming from the Motley Fool. Doesn't this sound so cold? This sounds really cold. Desirable takeover targets for Tencent. Japanese creators have been unwilling to sell. However, for fear of losing control of their prized creations. Tencent has been forced to resort to various licensing deals to gain access to Japan's popular manga and anime characters. Japanese creators are so concerned they don't want to sell. Tencent is one of the world's most popular acquisitive companies, a growth strategy that has served the company well over the years. It owns a sizable stake in a number of video game creators, including Epic Games, that would be the Fortnite people, while also holding smaller stakes in Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft. They're buying everything. They're buying everything. Here's another article, this one coming from the Japan Times. Tencent, holding spurned in years past by Japan's guarded entertainment industry, is rekindling its courtship of the country's fabled anime and manga houses. The Chinese social media giant has in recent months scooped up slices of two prominent local studios. Those outlays are just the start of a spending spree designed to extend Tencent's foothold in a key creative hub. While imbibing Japan's expertise in console game making and hit franchise creation, according to the people familiar with the strategy, the Chinese firm is in negotiations with several other studios regarding potential investments. Again, Japan is reluctant to let foreign powers come in and tell them what they can and can't create. Tencent has long regarded Japanese entertainment esports as an area ripe for optimization. God, that sounds cold. Where better distribution and marketing strategies can generate vastly greater revenues. Having cut its teeth on multi-billion-dollar acquisitions of the likes of Clash of Clans, Epic Games, etc., the Chinese publishing powerhouse has been repeatedly rebuffed when trying to take over developers and studios in Japan. Good for Japan. Its new approach is to spend on becoming a favored partner instead. Buying board seats and priority access to new content, said the people, who asked for anonymity because the plans are not public. Tencent declined to comment. Japanese creators loathe to cede control of their prized assets. They preferred ad hoc licensing deals, leading to bidding wars between publishers such as Tencent and TikTok, who each have competing Naruto games in China. Japanese ACGs are world class. We're talking about how the Chinese counterparts are years behind. Tencent's vision is to help set up Marvel Universe-like multimedia franchises with a focus on turning celebrated anime and manga comic book heroes and storylines into video games. Squeezing the most out of each bit of intellectual property. The Japanese creative scene is rich with potential targets. Popular IPs such as Kneon, Genesis Evangelion, and Doraemon are recognized in China. But there's all this other stuff that we can strip mine too. But this is what Hollywood's doing. This is exactly what Hollywood's doing too. This is why Japanese creators are concerned, not just about America, but China, because whoever's got the money controls the content. And if they start, coming in and saying, hey, we own 20% of your company, we got people on your board, this is what you're going to create, this is not what you're going to create, you're going to do what we want because we got to sell apps and shit in China. And that's what's going to happen. We got to sell stuff for the Karens in America. So they're also producing their own manhwa. Is it manhwa? That would be non-Japanese manga. And they've got a bunch of titles. I'm looking at this. They've got their own site. So this kind of reminds me of kind of like what Webtoon is doing. So and I don't know if Tencent, I don't think they're involved with Webtoon at all. but Naver owns Webtoon. And they're developing primarily Korean titles, South Korean titles, into anime, and then they're running it on, Crunchyroll, etc. But that's kind of what's going on here too, where I think Tencent wants to control anime and manga too, and Japan is like, hell no, you're not going to tell us what to do. So hopefully they hold out, because again, anime and manga is like one of the last bastions of completely unfiltered, uncensored entertainment. It's not watered down. There's something for everybody, and we get these big global corporations involved, whether they're Hollywood corporations or companies like Tencent, and you guarantee you they're going to dictate how this entertainment is created, what the sensibilities are. I don't think creatively it's going to be a good thing. Again, we've already got manga creators who are very concerned, and I don't blame them at all. So we're going to keep an eye on this, but this just shows how big anime and manga is right now. How much is it at stake when you've got companies like Tencent buying their way onto boards of animation studios and companies just to be able to have a say in what kind of entertainment gets produced. So we'll see what the result of that is. And it's, the same thing is happening with Hollywood, where Netflix and other companies are co-financing anime productions, but then with that comes the ability to tell Japan how to make their content. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later. Hey, guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.